Okay, hello and assalamu alaikum, everyone. I am Kashif Kamran, and welcome to the SBL orientation for exams in December 2024 and March 2025. Before I open up this orientation and we move to the agenda of this session, just let me first introduce myself as a tutor. I'm Kashif Kamran, a fellow chartered certified accountant. I have a certificate in international auditing, and I am a CA finalist from the Institute of Chartered Accountant of Pakistan. It's been 17 plus years since I am teaching the ACCA qualification, and my core specialization lies in the AA paper, the AAA paper, and the SBL paper. I'm also a registered mentor for Oxford Brookes University. I currently heads my own setup, which is known as Kashif Kamran's Digital Learning, or better known as KKDL. I'm also associated with PAC, which is a gold-approved learning provider of ACCA in Lahore, Pakistan, and I'm also associated with Civet College in India. Now, my passing rates for SBL in each exam sitting are way ahead of the global pass rates. And on average, in each exam sitting, 70% of my student gets through the SBL paper. Now, welcome to the orientation. Let's start proceedings of the orientation for SBL. The very first thing we need to focus on is understanding the SBL paper. So let's spend some time on this understanding. The very first thing in this understanding is to look at the syllabus for SBL. The SBL syllabus is divided into 8 syllabus areas, which are A. Leadership, B. Governance, C. Strategy, D. Risk, E. Technology and data analytics, F. Organizational control and audit, G. Finance in planning and decision making, and H. Enabling success and change management. A very diversified syllabus. You are getting elements of risk, you are getting elements of change management, how an organization brings change, how they implement change, and how they ensure that the resistance to change are overcome. You have a lot of finance and planning. You have a lot of ratio analysis and analyzing the financial statements, analyzing the financial results. Uh, a lot about internal controls, strategy is a mainstream area for SBL, a main focused area for SBL because it says strategic business leader. So strategy, no doubt, is the main area. Then you have leadership, qualities, traits, and everything you need to know about leadership, governance, and even technology. So a lot of diversity is there in SBL syllabus, and that makes it a very interesting syllabus, not a boring syllabus at all. And it's not very huge because you just have 8 syllabus areas, and they are something easily done at the end of the day. Now, as I proceed further to my orientation, I will be guiding you about how you can take a control and command on the syllabus and how important is it to retain the syllabus for the day of exam. We will be talking about all such over the next few minutes or hours. Now, in terms of the SBL paper, let's have a holistic scan of the SBL paper first. I will be dividing the SBL paper into 2 parts. Number 1, the SBL paper in terms of the pre-scene, which is released 14 days before the exam, and what is the benefit of that. And number 2, the actual exam paper, which you get on the day of exam. So I will be distributing my discussion into 2 parts. Let's first start with the pre-scene case as part of the SBL paper. Now, since September 23 exams, the pre-scene is now part and parcel of the SBL exams, and you are all appearing for either the December 24 exams or the March 25 exams. Pre-scene case will be released 14 days prior to exams by ACCA and will make you familiar with the organization and industry relevant for your exams. So 14 days before exams, you will get this pre-scene, you will spend time on it, you will make yourself familiar with the organization and industry. And once you enter the exam hall, you will have a lot of familiarity with the organization and with the industry and the problems and the challenges and the risk, which will be helping you when you start writing the answer on the day of exam. We'll see, is pre-scene basically the answer for the day of exam? Or is pre-scene just providing you the context for the day of exam? The better answer is pre-scene is just providing you the context for the day of exam. In in most of the cases, pre-scene is not the answer. Pre-scene might be helping you just like maximum 5% or 10%, but even 10 is on the higher side. 5% is better. But 90 to 95% of the answer will be coming from the exhibits which have been given to you on the day of exam. But yes, pre-scene will at least make you familiar with the terminologies, with the nature of the company, with the nature of the industry, the challenges, the risk, the corporate governance structure of the organization that can spontaneously help you somewhere when you're writing the answer on the day of exam. It is ideally 12 to 14 pages long. Mostly it's 12. Sometimes it touches 14. Students should ideally read the pre-scene, make their notes, summaries before the tutor debrief, which I will be doing. All time should not be spent on the pre-scene in the last 14 days as you have plenty to revise and practice. It's not like in the last 14 days you're putting all your time on pre-scene. Because in the last 14 days, you have to do the revision, you have to do the past paper practice. So it's not about you giving every day and every moment of the last 14 days to the pre-scene. Pre-scene is just like 1 hour a day, it's fine. So if you have 14 days before exams and giving 1 hour a day to the pre-scene, that's perfectly fine. It's not like you're spending hours and hours on pre-scene every day because that's not what is needed and that's not what is the purpose of releasing the pre-scene. So pre-scene at the end of the day is just like a context of the organization and the industry, and 1 hour a day is perfectly fine. So you have to make your own summaries and your notes on the pre-scene before you watch the tutor debrief on the same agenda. Not broadening your research outside the pre-scene. Just be within the pre-scene. Don't go onto the Google, don't browse onto the Google for extra information around the industry. Not at all. Just be within the pre-scene and just uh, give time to the information which has been given to you within the pre-scene. No need for any broad research. Tutor will be debriefing the pre-scene 8 days before the exam to give you a holistic scan of the emphasizable areas within the pre-scene. So I will be doing a pre-scene debrief with you 8 days before exam. So 14 days before exam, it is released. So you will be giving the time first. You will be making your own notes and summaries. And then 8 days before exam, you will have a live interaction with me where I will give you a holistic scan of the pre-scene and a more emphasizable areas that what you can expect on the day of exam. So this is basically one part of the SBL paper, the pre-scene, which is released 14 days before exams. How can you access pre-scene? To access the pre-scene, you will go to the exam planner, click on your SBL booked exam details within your plan, click on download links for the pre-scene information. Look at the three bullets. Go to the planner, click on your SBL booked, click on the download link for the pre-scene information. You should not get pre-scene from anywhere else just to ensure the authenticity and you're getting the right document. It's better to download it from the exam planner. That's how you get access to the pre-scene. Exam paper. The SBL paper is a 100 marks single case study exam with 80 technical marks and 20 professional marks. Single case study, it's about one organization. You get the whole case, a whole 100 marks case, as one single organization and all the information about one single organization. It's not like you have different cases in different questions, just like I teach the AAA paper. So it's not like you get a different case in question number one, you get a different case in question number two, you get a different case in question number three. It's not like that. You have one case study which you need to read and understand, and that one case study will help you solve all the requirements of the exam paper. So it's 100 marks single case study exam. You have 3 hours and 15 minutes to attempt your paper, which is 195 minutes, of which 1/4 is to read and plan, and 3/4 is to write. So you have 1.95 minutes per mark rule. So you look at the task, you look at the marks allocated to the task, you multiply that by 1.95, so you know the total time. Of that total time, 1/4 is to read and plan, 3/4 is to write. And reading and planning in SBL paper is really important because you have to read a lot and you have to plan a lot before you can really write a good answer in 3/4 time. There are 3 tasks in the paper, not less than 3, not more than 3. This is a definite 3. So you have 3 tasks in the paper, task 1, task 2, task 3, which you need to link with the case study. There are 4 exhibits in the exam paper. These are additional exhibits which you have to read on the day of exam. And remember that the answer to the task 1, task 2, and task 3 will come from the information presented in these 4 exhibits. I just mentioned that pre-seen might be helping you 5 to 10%, not more than that. Just come out of the thought process that pre-seen is the answer. No. Exhibits on the day of exam, the 4 exhibits on the day of exam is the answer. So you need to read them. You need to extract your answer from them. The pre-seen is at the back of your mind. It can provide you some context, some spontaneous link to your answer, which is wonderful. But you cannot just forcefully apply the pre-seen, or you cannot just forcefully copy paste the pre-seen unnecessarily in your answer. Additionally, the pre-seen is given as an additional section in the exam if you want to refer to it. So if you forget something and you want to refer back to the pre-seen, pre-seen will be given as an additional section on the day of exam. So you can just click on it and read through it if you want to. But you have gone with a good preparation of the pre-seen. So hopefully you need not to go back to the pre-seen on the day of the exam. It's just about the 4 exhibits you are utilizing. I'll just be showing you a glimpse of the recent paper, March, June 24 shortly. So whatever we are discussing, you can see it realistically in an actual exam paper. Each professional skill is tested for 4 marks in the SBL paper, and there are 5 professional skills in the paper. So 5 professional skills multiplied by 4, that is 20 professional marks. What are professional skills? How you can excel on the professional skills, I will be coming to that shortly. But this is like a holistic scan of the paper. You have a pre-seen, which comes 14 days before your exam paper. I have already guided you about that. What is your role and what is my role, and what to do with the pre-seen. Then on the day of exam, this is the paper you're looking for, 100 marks integrated case study paper, 80 technical, 20 professional, 195 minutes. So you have 1.95 minutes per mark, 1/4 for reading and planning, 3/4 for writing. And then there are 3 tasks and 4 exhibits, which you have to go through on the day of exam. So I hope you're pretty clear with the exam paper. Now, moving further, let's take a glimpse of the March-June 24 exam paper, and just let's illustrate what I was telling you. If I go to the March-June 24 paper on the practice platform, I hope you can see the practice platform on your screen, the ACCA practice platform, and you can all see the March-June 24 exam paper on your screen now. Now, you can see on the left panel, exhibits. Exhibit 1, Exhibit 2, Exhibit 3, Exhibit 4. So not less than 4 exhibits, not more than 4 exhibits, but 4. Then under those 4 exhibits, you can see a pre-seen information given separately. So on the day of exam, if you want to re-refer to the pre-scene, you want to recall something from the pre-scene because you think there was something important and you want to link that to the answer, the pre-scene is again given to you on the day of exam, which you have read 14 days before the exam. Then you can see the task. There are task 1 for 38 marks. So the moment you look at the 38 marks, you will multiply this by 1.95. You will get the total time of that. 1/4 is to read in plan and 3/4 is to write. Now, then you can see the response options. You have three response options, either a word processor or a spreadsheet or a slide. And now, once you open the task 1, you will exactly get to know where to write the answer. For example, you open up the task 1 and the task 1 tells you write a briefing note. Now, we definitely know briefing note is a Word document. So you have to give the answer in the word processor. If you go down and you look at the task 1B, it tells you prepare 2 presentation slides. So when you have to prepare 2 presentation slides, you will go down and a response in the slide section. So you'll open up the slide section and you will give response in the slide section. So it's just about reading the requirement, and that will help you which response option to you. Mostly it's the word processor. Rarely you use the slides. I've never seen spreadsheets being used because a lot of things you can do on the spreadsheet. In the exam time, you can save your time and do it on the word processor. So it's either the word processor or the slides. That's how you go down with it. So is everyone clear with the structure of the paper? 4 exhibits. You have a pre-scene information given if you want to refer back to it, and you have 3 tasks. You can see the task 1 on the first window. Once you finish with the task 1, you will click the next button and you will see the task 2 now. Then you finish off with the task 2 and you click on the next button and you will go down reading the task 3. Now, one good thing which SBL examining team has done, and that is the reason why the time in SBL has come down to 195 minutes, because prior to the September 23 exams, the time was 240 minutes. Now, first of all, the tasks have come down. The number of exhibits have come down. The reading have come down because 14 days before the exam, the pre-scene was given to you. So that reading uh, is taking place 14 days before exam. So that is all saving your time. Another thing is that you have 4 exhibits and you have 3 tasks. So technically, when you're reading the task 1, you will get an idea that which exhibit should I connect the task 1 to. Now, either one task will refer to one exhibit and you get the whole answer, or one task will refer to 2 exhibits and you get the answer, because you have 4 exhibits and you have 3 tasks. So technically, uh, one of the tasks will have link to 2 exhibits and the other 2 tasks will have the link to only one exhibit. So that's like you can identify which exhibit the answer lies in, and you will then be reading only that exhibit and solve the answer. Now, once I do the exam drilling sessions and once I do the recent past papers from September 23 onwards, that will be discussed in those particular sessions, which will be uploaded on my LMS. So you can have an idea that how you think about which exhibit to connect the task with. Is everyone clear so far, so forth? You have any queries or any questions uh, till this point in time? Or you're all clear with the discussion so far? Okay, great. So as I do more exam practice sessions for the recent paper, you will get more clarity about the time management, how to ensure which task connects with which exhibits, and every such thing will be clarified. Okay, now just let's move on. We saw the March June 24 exam paper. Now, SPL papers pre and post September 23. Are pre-September 23 papers still valid? Now, that's a big question because from September 23, we saw the change. We saw the change in terms of time. We saw the change in terms of pre-scene. We saw the change in terms of the task going down to 3. We saw the change in terms of the exhibits going down to 4. So with all those changes coming from September 23, are the previous exams still valid? Let's find the answer. Pre and post September 23. The 195 minutes time management, including 3 tasks and 4 exhibits, and the pre-scene model was introduced from September 23 exams. Prior to this, the SBL was a 4-hour exam with the entire case study to be read on the day of exam, and with the task going up to 5 at times and the number of exhibits going up to 7 at times. So it was quite a different structure, up to 7 exhibits, up to 5 tasks, a lot of reading, and total 4 hours. So that was prior to September 23. Now, is the papers prior to September 23 valid? You should do them. Your first priority is to do practice of the past papers from September 23 onwards, including the specimen exam ACCA has published for September 23 to build up the right perspective for time management and the updated paper format. So your first priority should be the specimen exam or the practice exam and the real exams, which has come from September 23 onwards. I'll show you how many they are. That should be your first priority. Because if you want to be well versed with the new time management, with the new structure, so you should first spend time on the new papers. Now, once you're done with that, because even if you go to the ACCA practice platform, they have still given you the papers prior to September 23. That means the papers prior to September 23 are still valid. The old papers prior to September 23 are still valid and should be attempted for additional practice, at least the requirement, reading the requirement, reading the case, and identifying your answer. Leave aside the time management. When you're doing the old paper, you can do the old paper under the new time management. Whatever is the marks. For example, you're doing a requirement for 20 marks. You will multiply that by 1.95 prior to September 23, even. So you will apply the new time management, 1.95 minutes per mark, to the old papers. But the requirements of the old paper, the way you write the answer, the way you read the case study, the way you extract the answer is still the same. It's just about some things changing. But that is not making the old papers irrelevant. The old papers are still relevant, and that is the reason the ACCA has not even deleted them. They're still available on the ACCA practice platform. So you will do the old papers, but after completing the new papers first. Is that clear to all of you? So is everyone clear with the pre and post September 23? Great. Okay, now moving onwards and looking at the technical and professional marks. Now we know technical and professional marks in the SBL paper are important, and primarily we are looking at the professional marks because that's a new subject matter and that's something which needs more emphasis. Now, in terms of the technical and professional marks in SBL, I will try my best to illustrate it with a pie chart. You have 80 technical marks, so that's the biggest chunk, and you have 20 professional marks in that whole pie chart. Now, when you look at the 80 technical marks, what are you doing? That is something you do in every ACCA paper. Requirement versus answer. Do what is asked for. So you will read the requirement. So if the requirement is asking for explain the benefits, you will write the benefits. Or if the requirement is asking for evaluate the risk facing the company, you will evaluate the risk. So whatever the requirement is asking for, you will do it. That's what you do in every ACCA paper, right? So requirement versus answer, that's the technical part. And you're all very well versed with it. Am I correct? You all know how to fetch the requirement marks. You know how to read the requirement and connect the requirement with the case study and identify your answer, because that is something you are habitual of, the technical side. But then comes the professional side, value addition to your answer. This is what I believe professional marks are. When you're writing the technical answer, uh, the professional marks is basically a value addition to your technical answer. It's just about enhancing the quality threshold of your answer. Value addition. How would you do that value addition in your technical answer? There are two things which I will be discussing in depth. Number one, journal professionalism throughout your technical answer. And number two, demonstration of the professional skill the examining team is asking for. There are 5 professional skills in the paper. So, demonstration of the skill the examining team is asking for. If you do these two things while you're writing up your technical answer for 80 marks, you are also fetching the 20 professional marks. So, write an answer, look at the requirement, whatever the requirement is asking for, do it. But while you're doing it, ensure journal professionalism and ensure you're demonstrating the skill the examining team is asking for. I'll be illustrating that shortly. Is everyone clear with this pie chart and the technical side and the professional side before I stretch my discussion more about journal professionalism and demonstration of professional skill and show you an illustration from the March June 24 exam? Is everyone clear with this particular slide? Okay, that's great. Now just let's move on and have a further discussion on the value addition, the professional marks. Scoring professional marks in SBL, what's the best way? What's the best way to grab those 20 professional marks or most of them? Now, there are 5 professional skills in your paper, which are commercial acumen, communication, analysis, skepticism, and evaluation. I will be doing a separate session after my orientation in the next couple of days, and I'll be uploading a video on these 5 skills whereby you can learn these 5 skills in terms of their definitions, in terms of their meaning, and in terms of the examiner expectation with each skill. So that will be another video which will be added alongside the orientation section on my LMS. So right after the orientation video, you will find an professional skill video, but that will take a week for it to be uploaded. Now you have 5 skills. Each skill has a meaning, but meaning alone is not the success in demonstrating the professional skill. If you know the meaning of a skill, you will not be doing the justice which the examining team is expecting from you. Knowing the meaning is half the success, not full. You can get 10 marks out of 20 if you know the meaning, but not 20 out of 20. So knowing the meaning is one thing. It can help you, but it is about demonstrating it. And examining team will tell you how you need to demonstrate it. So you have to read the requirement very carefully. Because if you are not demonstrating the way the examining team wants you to demonstrate it, rather you are just focused on the meaning of the skill and you're trying to implement the meaning of the skill, that will not impress the marker. That will not impress the team who's checking your paper. So professional skills are 5, but how you ensure you are delivering them in the best manner. I will be doing a separate session on that, but I will also be giving you an illustration today on how you can excel on it. Look at this example. I've taken this example from the March-June paper I was just showing you a few minutes ago, and this is the task 3 from the March-June 24 paper. How to excel on professional skills. Just let me illustrate you that. Can you see there is a statement written by the examining team right over here in the green? Can you just read through this? I'm giving you 1 minute if you can read this green box. Now see, the examining team will tell you under the task. This is your technical marks. See here, this is your technical marks. what you have to do. What you have to do. A, B. This is what you have to do. But while you are writing the technical answer, you need to grab the 4 extra marks. How would you grab them? It says that you need to demonstrate analysis skill. Analysis is one of the 5 skills you have in the paper. And I told you that each skill will be tested for 4 marks. See, the marks are 4. Each skill will be tested for 4 marks and there will be no repetition of the skill. If analysis is asked once, you will not see analysis for the second time in the exam paper. If commercial acumen is asked once, you will not see commercial acumen being asked again. So one skill will be examined once and for 4 marks. So 5 multiplied by 420. Analysis skill. Now, a student knows the meaning of analysis, for example. He learned the meaning from my lectures. This is not the success. The success is to demonstrate the analysis skill the way the examining team wants you to do so. Is the examining team telling us what you need to do? Yes. Look at this. In considering the finding of the internal audit report, reflecting on their implications and recommending controls to mitigate the weakness. Now, any student who go inside the internal audit report is an exhibit. So any student who goes inside the internal audit report, analyze the internal audit report in terms of the implication of the weaknesses given. So the internal audit report will have the weaknesses. But what is the implication of the weakness? What will go wrong? So if any student identify the implication, write the implication very clearly in the answer, you are doing justice to demonstrating the analysis skill. Not just the implication, but also recommending controls to mitigate the weaknesses. So any student who is writing controls to mitigate the weaknesses is also grabbing the analysis mark. So you need to analyze 2 things. Number 1, analysis, implication. Number 2, analysis, recommending controls to mitigate the weakness. So 2 sort of analysis. So is the examining team telling you what to analyze? So will you read this statement in the exam very carefully? It's not about knowing the meaning of analysis. It's about demonstrating analysis the way the examining team wants you to do so. Are you getting my point, all of you? I'm waiting for your yes or no answers. So is it important to read that statement of professional skill marks under the requirement? And is it important to understand how you should demonstrate it? What you should do to get those 4 marks? So if you read that statement well, you will definitely get the 4 marks. It's not about knowing the definitions of what is analysis or what is evaluate. So please do that in the exam paper, right? And once I do the broader exam paper practice, I will be guiding you more about how you fetch most of these professional marks. So this is one thing which you need to be very clear of. So that is what I was just telling you on my preceding slide, that there are 5 skills. Knowing the meaning is half the picture, but it's about demonstrating them the way the examining team likes them to be demonstrated. So look at the wish of the examining team and obey them. The second thing, as part of your professional marks, aim to score most of the 20 professional marks. There are 2 aspects to it. Number 1, journal professionalism. I was telling you that in my pie chart, that journal professionalism is very important when you're writing the technical answer. What is journal professionalism when you're writing in the technical answer? And number 2 is demonstration of the skill required. Have I just shown you the demonstration of the skill required in the task 3 from the March June 24 paper? Analysis skill was to be demonstrated, and the examining team was telling us how to demonstrate it. So 2 things, and you're grabbing most of your 20 professional marks. Now, as part of the journal professionalism, when you're writing the answer, write the answer in the right format. Write the answer with headings and subheadings. Avoid long paragraph. The maximum length of a paragraph is 3 to 4 sentences long, and then change the paragraph. 3 to 4 sentences long. That's the maximum length of a para. Avoid long paras. The examining team does not like very long paras, 6 to 8 sentences. No, break a para after every 3 to 4 sentences. Avoid repeating a point and case sync. Whatever you are writing should not be generic, should be linked to the case study. These are 5 important things you can do when you're writing the technical answer. Everyone look at the screen. How easy this is. These are 5 things you can do when you're writing the technical answer. Right format, headings and subheadings, avoid long paragraph, avoid repetition, and ensure you are not writing a generic answer. Rather, your answer is synced to the case. This is giving you uh, your professional marks out of 20. And this is such an easy thing you all can do on the day of exam. Apart from that, demonstrate the skill required. Have you seen the demonstration of the skill required just in the previous example, all of you? So are you clear with the 2 aspects? Are you clear with the 2 aspects you need to demonstrate on the day of exam? Journal professionalism and the skill required. If you do both as part of your technical answer, you are fetching most of your 20 professional marks. Naima, when you're explaining a point in exam, a well-explained point in SBL should be like 3 to 4 sentences long. So 3 to 4 sentences long is a good, well-explained point in SBL. Now, that's not a rule of thumb, but that's what I believe is a very well-developed point in SBL. 3 to 4 sentences long, not lengthier than this, and change the para after every 3 to 4 sentences. So please, I hope this small discussion around professional marks will be adding value, will be boosting prospects of all my students to score more on the side of professional marks. And definitely you will catch on with my exam practice sessions, so you will get more clear definition of how to go about it. Okay, now moving further from this professional marks discussion, and just to give you one more example on journal professionalism, I will go back to the same task I was looking for in terms of analysis skill. Look at this. Write a report. Should I write the answer in a report format? This is part of journal professionalism. So journal professionalism, the very first point is to write in the correct format. Headings and subheadings, case sync. So I need to link this whole answer with the case. There must be an internal audit report in the case. I need to go down, read the internal audit report, extract my points from that. I need to ensure that for every weakness, I'm writing the implication. And for every weakness, I'm telling how to overcome it, because that will also give me the analysis marks at the bottom. So I hope you will get a sound picture of each task. You will do justice with it on the day of your exam. Okay, now moving forward from this discussion on professional skill marks primarily, let's look at the pass rates for SBL and the way forward for December 24 and March 25 exams. Something so good for SBL. I tried doing an investigation of the 6 strategic level papers ACCA have, which is SBL, SBR, AAA, AFM, ATX, and APM. You can see the 6 bars on your screen. The black bar is the SBL paper. Now, when you look at the SBL paper from June 23 to June 24, you see the passing rates have been more than 50%. But in the last 3 exam settings, it's almost surging to 52%, which is the highest. So that is good news for all of you. That means more students pass, less students fail. And if you look at the SBL paper in the last 3 exam sittings, with all the other strategic level paper, it has the highest passing rates. Compare it with any other paper. in the last 3 attempts. It has the highest passing rate. SBL and SPR used to be very close by up till September 23. See here, 51%, 50%, both for SBL and both for SPR. But since December 23, SBL paper has taken the first position for the highest passing rates. So that's the good news. I hope that will motivate you all that this is a doable paper. Only we need to stick to the guidance of the tutor, follow the course of the tutor, and carefully ensure that if there is any problem, you're interacting on that problem with your tutor. Now, I'm not talking about reasons why students fail in SPL paper because the passing rate is so good. I need to talk the vice versa. What are reasons for brilliance in SPL? What contributes to the brilliance in SPL? Not the failure, brilliance. So I'm doing the vice versa with all of you. I tried investigating some of the reasons why students pass the SPL paper, and I was evaluating the last two examiner reports. And from those last two examiner reports, this is a summary of brilliance. Number one, application of knowledge. Very important. This is a frequently asked question. Rote learning is useless in SPL. A lot of time I've seen students rote learning the theory. Rote learning the theory, it is an application paper. It is a case study paper. The question is asking you something, the answer of which lies in the exhibit. You have to read the exhibit and extract the answer from the exhibit. Yes, the requirement could be around a topic you have done. For example, data analytics, cybersecurity, risk management, Porter Diamond, Porter Five Forces. The question could be around a topic, definitely. But the answer is within the exhibit. You have to read the exhibit and extract the answer. It's about adapting your knowledge. It's about the application of knowledge. Alone knowledge, rote learn knowledge, useless. That's the first brilliance. Number two, use of exam exhibit. I was mentioning this in my orientation earlier, that the exhibits given to you on the day of exam, the four, use them because 95% of the answer will be within them. Don't forcefully apply the pre-scene. Pre-scene is just providing the context, nothing more than that. Use the exam exhibits and ensure those exam exhibits are synced with your answer. Number three, structured responses. I was talking about this just a few minutes ago. Structured responses means headings and subheadings, ensuring no repetitions, ensuring each paragraph is 3 to 4 sentences long. And structured responses means that your answers are well blended within the case study, are well blended with the information given to you in the exhibits. Structured responses, or at least if the examining team is saying write the implication and write the mitigation. So if you're writing the implication and you are writing the mitigation, that is also a structured response. But if you're only writing an implication, not a mitigation, then that's not a structured response. Number fourth, critical analysis and evaluation. Such an important phenomena for SPL paper. You know, most of the time, analysis and evaluation means looking at the pros and cons, arguments in favor, against. So a lot of time you have to do that in SPL paper. You have to evaluate the pros and cons. You have to argue in favor, against, and give a conclusion. So analysis and evaluation with a conclusion. That is something you will be doing most of the time across your 100 marks paper. So be prepared for analysis and evaluation. Be prepared for talking about something in favor and against and giving your opinion, giving your arguments. Any student who knows how to raise opinions and arguments will be better off. And any student who does not know how to raise my own opinion, how to raise my own argument, because see, you are a strategic business leader. And the best property of a strategic business leader is to raise arguments, opinions, and your opinion should have your own basis. There is no one right answer in SPL. There is no one right answer in SPL. Otherwise, the passing rate would never have been 52%. It's about your own opinions and the basis of your opinions, that is what the examining team is looking for. This is the fourth reason of brilliance. Fifth, preparation and familiarity with resources. You have prepared yourself sufficiently well. You've gone with the depth of the syllabus area A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. You have read technical articles. You know about the right resources which ACCA has made available for you. You have invested a lot in examiner reports. You have read the ACCA study hub where it was needed. I'll be coming to that resources shortly. But you have prepared yourself well. You were not underprepared. You did not had a short study to SBL. You went over the whole course of SBL. Attention to the task requirement. Read the task, understand the task, see what the task is asking. A lot of time the student rush over the task. They don't understand the task. They try not to understand the task the way it should be answered. And attention to the task, read the task, see how many things you have to do. And lastly, professionalism in presentation. I just mentioned journal professionalism. Professionalism in presentation. Are you all clear with that? I've given you a breakdown of journal professionalism, which was professionalism in presentation. Well presented answer. Right format, headings and subheadings, not long paragraphs. So is everyone clear with the reason for brilliance, 52% passing rate? We are not talking about reason for failure. When I do my AAA paper, I talk about reason for failure because the passing rates are low. The student failing are more than the student passing. But over here, it's a vice versa. So is everyone clear with the reason for brilliance? Will you be using them when you start to study your SBL for December 24 and March 25 exams? Everyone sound and clear for reasons? Should we move on? Okay, great. How to approach your studies. Now we are starting the most critical phase of this orientation. Perhaps that's the reason why you are all here in the live session. How to use the resources, how to use my course on LMS, which you have brought from my academy. How to approach your studies for December 24 exams and March 25 exams. Now you know the paper, you know the syllabus, you know the professional skills, you know the technical marks, you know why student pass the SBL paper, and you also know the passing rate is so good. Now, keeping all that with you, just let's see how would you approach and be part of that 52% students globally who pass the SBL paper. Three things when you sit down to study. For example, you start to study from today. Number one, the right resources. In the reasons of brilliance, we were talking about that. That first of all, the more important thing is to have the resources and you've gone over them. Number two, timetable. Number three, a study approach. And I will be discussing each one of them in segregations. Let's first start with the right resources you need to study. Right resources. Now you've all enrolled in my course. So first of all, your first priority is the course on the portal. But yes, you have to supplement the course on the portal with lots of other resources. And I will be giving you a glimpse of that. My LMS, my learning management system, along with other supplementary resources, and how will they go together for your success? Let's open the discussion around right resources. Approaching to study SBL with the right resources. SBL resources on LMS. On the LMS, you will find the video lectures. You will find the tutor notes and tutor presentations. You will also find a resource section on the SBL where I have kept some very important resources where I will be shedding light shortly. Some of the important resource in the resource section of SBL includes technical articles, examiner reports, Dr. Dinu 100 series, and old past papers. Past papers not available on ACCA practice platform, but are still important. Now, this is one part. of your resources, the LMS. So LMS is one screen on your laptop, and that one screen is your first resource. Video lectures, tutor notes, a resource section, and in the resource section, so many important things. I'll be coming to them shortly in a more great detail. Number two, ACCA Study Hub, whether to use it, not to use it. If I say you have to use it, then in what context? Number three, ACCA practice platform for the latest papers, including the specimen exam. How frequently you should go to the ACCA practice platform, how frequently you should do the past papers, and how many past papers you should be doing, which would be considered as sufficient and appropriate. We need to come to that. Next, the pre-seen case as a resource which comes 14 days before the exam. And lastly, the ACCA mock exam for December 24 and March 25, which is released again 15 days before the real exam. All this is the resource. Now, this is what you should be having. You should all have the access to the LMS by now. You have ACCA Study Hub login. You have ACCA practice platform know about. Pre-seen, you have to wait for it. And mock exam, you have to wait for it. But three things each one of you should be having. Let's now go into further depth of each one of them, and let's emphasize on how each of them can contribute to your success. First of all, the LMS. You go to lms.kashifkamran.com and you put your email, username, which has been provided to you by my admin, and the password, and you log in. And after you log in, this is what you see. You see this course, which I have graphically presented. Now, when you log into the course, you will see the 5 sections. Look at the 5 sections. Number 1, syllabus area A, B, C, D, and F by Kashif Kamran. Syllabus area E, G, and H by Luqman Rafiq, who is doing this course with me. Number 3, webinars to success by Kashif Kamran. Number 4, pre-seen debriefs by Kashif Kamran. And number 5, SBL key resources. This is what I was saying, the resource section, where you'll find every resource which I will recommend you to read. So no Google Drives. It's only the LMS. It's only the LMS. Is everyone clear with the 5 sections on your screen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you are enrolled with My Academy KKDL, I hope you will find the same interference on KKDL. Right? Now let's go one by one. I'm starting with number 1. We'll start with number 1 first. Let's see the number 1. The number 1 is my course. And I do A, B, C, D, and F. A and B have 19 lectures of 20.5 hours. C have 6 lectures of 10 hours. D have 5 lectures of 6.5 hours. And F has 2 lectures of 3.5 hours. So my total lectures are 30 lectures. And 30 lectures is equal to 40.5 hours. This is my course. Then you go to Mr. Luqman Rafiq after completing my course. Mr. Luqman Rafiq have 14 lectures for E, but each lecture is very short, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, because E is a very generic content. E is just like journal knowledge. So the tutor has spent very less time on it. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, he's just giving you a quick overview of things and he's going forward. 3 hours. G, 22 lectures of 4.15 hours. The lectures are more, the time is less because each lecture is very shortened. H, 24 lectures, but of just 6.5 hours. So the total lectures you're watching for Mr. Luqman Rafiq sounds a bit more, 60, but look at the number of hours, just 14. So you will be finishing them off very quickly. Now, my lectures and Mr. Luqman Rafiq lectures, you accumulate them. They become 100 lectures. Sorry, they become 90 lectures, not 100. Need to make a correction here. 90 lectures because it's 60 plus 30. So 90 lectures of 55 hours. So you have 90 lectures of 55 hours. My area is very heavier because my lectures are more in depth. Mr. Luqman Rafiq is dealing with very generic stuff, EGH, and that's why he has shortened the lecture so it can save your time in terms of preparing the course. So 90 lectures with 55 hours, it's your first priority to finish it off. I'll tell you by when. Then once you finish it off, under my syllabus area, A, B, C, D, F, you will see there are exam drilling. So when you see A, B, C, D, F, after F, you will see exam drilling. That exam drilling is 7 lectures and 17 hours. Practice. Once you finish off Mr. Lukman E, G, H, you will find exam drilling under H. That is 10 lectures, 7 hours. So you are accumulating the practice. Then webinars to success. My December 22 webinar has 5 lectures of 10 hours practice. March 23 webinar has 9 lectures, 8.5 hours of practice. March 24 webinar, 4 lectures, 2.5 hours of practice. And June 24 webinar, 2 lectures, 1.5 hours of practice. Now you add up the practice, 20 lectures, 22.5 hours. So look at the practice. For A, B, C, D, E, F, separately you have 7 lectures in 17 hours. For E, G, H, you have 10 lectures in 7 hours. And the webinars are 20 lectures in 22.5 hours. Now look at the red color. I've segregated the colors. The maroon color is the knowledge. The red color is the practice. Now look at the practice lectures and see the total. The total of the practice lectures is down here. You can see that 37 lectures and 46.5 hours. That's practice so far. Now you have 55 hours of technical stuff. You have 46.5 hours of practice stuff. You accumulate that. Who will give me the answer? 55 plus 46.5. What is the total? A 101.5. Thank you, Aswin. So 101.5, 101 total lectures, hours. From 101, almost 50% is practice and 50% is technical stuff. Are you clear with 1, 2, 3 so far, all of you? Are you clear with the maroon segregation? That is technical. The red is the practice. And I'll be adding more practice of the recent papers. And if I add more practice of the recent papers, I will be deleting the older ones. So I will ensure the course does not overrun 101 hours. It remains 101 hour because I'll delete the old papers and replace them with the new papers. So automatically it will still be 101 hours. I will not be giving you any incremental hours because it's already a lot. But I hope the maroon and red will guide you. Technical, practice. And I hope you like the flow chart, how the lecture hours are going down and then accumulating maroon and how the red is accumulating. I hope you're clear with that. Okay, now one important thing. Look at the webinars, number 3. Number 3. I've added over here webinars for December 24 and March 25 will be uploaded with new practice material. So when I do the December 24 webinar and March 25 webinar, I will be doing more recent papers after September 23. So you will gain more confidence and I will be deleting the old content. So again, even if I upload the December 24 and March 25 webinar, the number of hours will still remain 101 because I will be deleting some very old stuff and bringing the new one. And this will happen over a month time before you get to the practice. I think you will be doing the practice in November. So by that, the new stuff will be there. Okay, one student is saying, please don't delete the old stuff. Okay, I'll not delete it. I'll keep the old stuff. Okay, come to the number 4, pre-scene. Now in the pre-scene, you will see my previous pre-scene, September 23 pre-scene, December 23 pre-scene, March 24 pre-scene, June 24 pre-scene. You will see all those pre-scenes there. And the September 24 pre-scene. You are not watching the old pre-scenes because of no relevance. You will be waiting for your own pre-scene under the section 4. So under section 4, you will get your September you will get the December 24 pre-scene 8 days before the exam, and the March 25 pre-scene 8 days before the March 25 exam. So please don't watch the old pre-scenes, of no use, but wait for the new one. So that is easiest. Number 5 is resources. You go to the resources, no Google Drive, all on the LMS. Dr. Dinu 100 series 1, examiner reports 2, formats in SBL, how to write a report, how to write a letter and everything, formats in SBL given there. Past papers, the old past papers not on the ACCA practice platform, and technical articles. Technical articles for A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, all given. So LMS is one source for video lectures, for the tutor notes, for the webinars, for the pre-scene, and for the key resources. So one thing giving you everything. I hope you're clear with this, right? Is everyone clear with this picture? SBL course overview on LMS before I touch upon some critical aspects like Dr. Dinu and like past papers and every other thing. Okay, just let's move on. Tutor resources. Now, when you are going with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, the technical content, you will find the tutor presentation notes and tutor support file. That is something the tutor write on the screen, the tutor support file, which should be downloaded and utilized as your notes. So first, when you start the syllabus area A or B, download the tutor support files and download the tutor presentations and keep them on the table and then start watching the lectures. Because when you're watching the lecture, you can scribble something on the notes, and at the end of the day, it will become very effective notes for you. Further, you will add on to these notes during or after watching the lectures. Moreover, the reading of the technical articles where recommended will add further notes, further to your notes. Wherever I recommended you to read an article in a lecture, please do read that, because reading articles is mandatory, is must, and should not be skipped. Articles are must to read, because the more articles you read, the better knowledge you will be getting about SBL, and that too from an examiner perspective. So tutor notes and tutor presentations, take a printout, keep them on the table, start watching the lectures. During the lecture, if you get something interesting, add on to the printout you already have on the table. Read the technical article and make a summary of the technical article, and that automatically becomes your good notes. Dr. Dinu, how to use it? What is Dr. Dinu and how effective is it for you? It's in the resource section, but when you should be using it. Now, once you have completed the whole course, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and you have gone over the whole course, roughly 55 hours, now you want to revise. Though you have made your own notes, you have made your own summaries, but Dr. Dinu will give you a good revision, because Dr. Dinu 100 series contain 100 most important things you have in SBL. And that starts from the page number 40 up to page number 221. I'll just show you. Page number 40 to page number 221. 100 important things in SBL which you should have on your fingertips. That is a holistic revision once you have finished off the syllabus. But from that 100 things, don't do a LARP, that is deleted from the syllabus, and don't do the Tucker 5-question model, because that is deleted from the syllabus. So from the 100 things, don't do a LARP and don't do Tucker. So I think you are left with 98 things, right, to do. So wherever you find a LARP, ignore it. Wherever you find Tucker, ignore it. So page number 40 to page number 100. The Dr. Dinu series is an effective source of revision. Just let me show you that on screen. I hope you can all see the Dr. Dinu 100 series on your screen now. You will go to the page number 40, and this is the 100 index. 100 things on your screen. And then you shift down Each page will give you one. One, the one covers the five skills. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So five skills going on number one, number six, number seven, number eight. Sorry, exam papers coming in. Number eight, then number nine, then some examples. Number 10, then some examples from the past paper. Number 11, and this way it goes up. After the Dr. Dean who will be giving you some exam paper examples too. So when you go from page number 40 to 221, you will have such an excellent revision that you will feel more confident for your upcoming exam. So please ensure you do spend time on Dr. Dinu in the last 15 days or last 20 days before your exam, because that will give you a holistic summary and a checklist to feel more motivated ahead of your exam. So is everyone clear with the benefit of Dr. Dinu and when and how to use it? And it's in the resource section, right? So no one should ask me where it is, what to do, how to read, what to read. I hope you're all clear with that, right? Okay, good. Next, ACCA Study Hub. Should you spend time on it? Yes. Let's take an example. There is no need to indulge into the textbooks like BPP or Kaplan when you have an ACCA Study Hub. But how to use ACCA Study Hub? Should you be reading all of it? No. Wherever you need any extra support, or you are confused in a topic, or you want further clarity on a topic, or you want to read more on a topic, it's your choice. Go to the ACCA Study Hub, open that topic, and read it. So every student will have a different perspective. One student will say, okay, I'm fine, I know it. Other student will say, okay, I'm a bit blur. I'll go to the ACC Study Hub and read this topic from there. So it's upon your own choice. I'm not enforcing ACC Study Hub on you, but if you believe you need to read something extra and you need to have some more clarity, ACC Study Hub can be the rescue for you. But it's not like you're reading 100% of the ACC Study Hub. You can only read where needed, and again, it will vary from one student to another. Practice should directly be done from ACCA past papers, the old one and the new ones. But please don't do the practice from ACCA Study Hub, because most of the ACCA Study Hub practice is itself the past papers. So directly go onto the portal, practice platform of ACCA, do practice directly on the practice platform, and do the old past papers as well. So ACCA Study Hub can be used as an extra support where needed by a student. Is everyone clear with ACCA Study Hub and whether you should go for BPP and Kaplan books and revision kits? No revision kits, right? Just do the past papers. Okay, now moving onwards away from the ACCA Study Hub, past paper practice. I mentioned pre-September and post-September 23. Look at the left and right. On the left-hand side, you have September 23 onwards. So you have a September 23 paper available on the practice platform, December 23 paper and March 24 paper. You have a specimen 1 for which is applicable from September 23 onwards. Specimen 2, practice exam 1, 2, 3. These are all from September 23 onwards. So look at the number of papers, 3 to 5 and 3, 8. 8 papers on the new format. Plenty. On the right-hand side, prior to September 23, the ones which are available on the ACCA practice platform. So ACCA practice platform, prior to September 23, you have 5 papers. 8 plus 5, how many papers? 8 plus 5 is equal to 13. More than sufficient. I should not find any other paper in this list that you should be doing. Yes, if I have done an old paper in class, or I have solved an old paper in class, you can do it. But what should be your self-assurance? Your self-assurance is, have I done the 13 question papers? Yes. You are fully prepared for December 24 and March 25 exams. So will all of you ensure that every question paper on the left and the right is ticked when you do it? Whichever paper you complete, tick, 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 and keep emailing them to me for checking purpose. You can send me individual requirements. You can send me the full paper as you wish. 13 papers. Is that clear to all of you? So that's the practice. Planner, timetable. What sort of a planner and timetable you should follow? Yes, you can send me any assignments you want to, any past papers, you can email me anytime. So I'm open to past papers, I'm open to assignments. Any past paper question you do from my lecture, not from my lecture, as an extra practice, you're open to send that to me. I will be giving you my email ID. Okay, now this is the planner I have carefully drafted for December 24 and March 25 students. Now you're flexible to change it because everyone have its own perspective. December 24 students, you're job-based, full-time students, taking one paper, taking two paper. First of all, evaluate yourself. Where are you standing in terms of your preparation? Are you going for a single paper, multiple papers? Are you a full-time student? Are you a part-time student? Finish your course by 5th of November. When I say finish your course by 5th of November, I means you're finishing off with the total of 101 lecture hours by 5th. Because after 5th, you will be spending time on more recent paper practice from September 23 onwards. 8 past papers after 5th of November. So by 5th of November, try to at least wrap up 100% or 90% of your lectures. And after the 5th of November, you can do a lot of practice. So you can do practice of papers from September 23 onwards, or if you have missed some webinars, you have not completed some webinars, you can do those webinars. ACCA will release the pre-scene approximately on the 19th of November. So after that, you will be giving 1 hour a day on the pre-scene. Pre-scene debrief by me will take place on 25th of November. And enjoy the enjoy the SBL, should be corrected here. I'm more obsessed with AAA. So enjoy the SBL December 24 webinar and exam techniques before the December 24 exam paper. I will be releasing that. And again, for the SBL March webinar, this will be released and uploaded on the portal and you can enjoy it. If you're a March 25 student, finish the course by 5th of February. Post 5th February, do the past paper practice of the recent paper September 23 onwards. Again, ACCA will release a pre-scene for March exams by 18th of February. And my debrief will take place on the 24th of February 2025. And then again, my March 25 webinars will be released on the portal. Now, these are timelines. You can change them. You know your own circumstances. Someone must have finished, someone can finish early, someone can finish late, but you need to keep a good time for recent past paper practice. And ideally, that should not be less than 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks. So you can stretch your course completion in between 5th and 10th. And after, in between 5th and 10th, you should shift to the new papers. I hope you're clear with that. So is everyone clear with the study planner, the timelines? But again, you're flexible to change them, plus and minus, and try to find what fits you best. Okay, now mock submission. If you want to submit me the mock which ACCA will publish, you will do your ACCA December 24 mock or the March 25 mock as the case may be and submit to the tutor for feedback, and then you can watch my tutor debrief on it to recheck your answer. I will give you feedback on the mock, and you can also watch my debrief to scan where you went wrong. Last day to submit the December 24 mock is 21st of November. After that, I will not be taking any mocks because I need time to check them as well. And for the March 25, the last day to submit is 17th Feb. My email ID is splkashifkamran@gmail.com. That's where you can email me your assignments, your past papers, your mock exam. That's one single email ID. Approach to study, the final thing. You have resources to study, the LMS the Dr. Dinu, the ACC Study Hub, the past papers, we talked about that. We talked about the time planner, when to finish off the course. Now, what should be the approach? And this approach was partially discussed in my discussion, Brilliance in SBL. I just want to sum up that again. Approach to Excel. There is no rote learning in SBL. Please don't do that. It's the application of the knowledge which will make you pass. How would you ensure you have a concept building in SBL? You're not going for rote learning. There are several models and several theories which you will come across your syllabus from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Make a summary for each model, make a summary for each theory. Know the advantages, know the disadvantages, know the challenges, because examining team likes that. Benefits of data analytics, challenges of data analytics, benefits of cybersecurity, challenges of cybersecurity. Examining team is very fond of asking benefits and advantages. So wherever you find them, just please note them down. Make summaries of theories and models which you come across your syllabus coverage from A to H, because that's the good way you can have a summary of A to H, and that's a good way you can revise them up, not rote learn them. Concept building is important, not rote learning. Again, Dr. Dinu, page number 40 to 221, will give you a holistic revision of the key models, the key theories. So you can just use Dr. Dinu. You can take a printout of Dr. Dinu and just scribble on it, page number 40 to 221. So it will effectively become the summaries of the models and theories. Summary, one pager, or mind maps could be a good to revise SBL and take a holistic command. Suppose you're doing Menlo metrics, you can take one page, make a summary of Menlo metrics, or you're doing a Tara framework, or you're doing a Porter 5 forces, or you're doing Porter generic strategy, whichever model you are doing, just take one page and make a summary. So the multiple ways through which you can organize yourself. You can use Dr. Dinu's scribble on it. You can make your own summaries, one pager. You can make the mind maps, whatever. But please do not go for rote learning. It's only about concept buildings. It's a case study exam. So at the end of the day, the answer has to come from the case study. Rote learning will be useless. You need to adapt your knowledge according to the situation given on the exam day. So you need to know the models, you need to know the theories, but they will change, they will alter according to the scenario given to you. So it's just not like putting a generic knowledge in the answer. It's just not like putting a rote learn knowledge in your answer. It's about adaptation of the knowledge. So that is something which will come from Dr. Dinu, taking a holistic overview of the syllabus, making a summary, making a mind map, because that's the best way you can avoid rote learning. Case linkage and case sync holds the key to success. So whenever you're preparing, whenever you are answering, this holds the key to success. Link to case, sync to case, and you will pass the SPL. So I hope you will effectively utilize my approach. You will effectively utilize the timetable. You can alter the timetable, the study resources. Uh, Going into ACC Study Hub or not going into ACC Study Hub is your own decision. I've given you clarity on that. And throughout the orientation, whatever techniques, guidance I have shared with you, I hope you will listen back to the recording. You will take a printout of this orientation presentation, keep it on the table, and use this presentation in an effective manner to prepare for the upcoming December 24 and March 25 exams. All the best for your exams. And now that ends my orientation. Now it's your opportunity, one by one, raise your questions. If you have any question, raise it. Wait for me to answer it before another student raise a question. Don't just start putting the questions. One student, put a question, I'll answer, go to the next one. Okay, let me first answer a question from Imran Makbul. He's saying, Pre-Scene has the same information about the industry and the organization which will be given in the exam. That is the company name, industry, directors, organization, structures, etc. Yes, definitely. Pre-Scene will have the same organization and the same industry which will be on the real exam. That's the purpose, Imran, of releasing it. And that's the purpose of saving your time. That's the reason the 240 minutes are now shifted to 195 minutes. So I hope you're clear on that. Next question, Ahmed. Can we do both AAA and SBL for December 24 as I'm a full-time student? Yes. If you're a full-time student and you're committed, you can make a timetable and you can study 6 to 8 hours a day perfectly. You can go with both papers. Next question. Okay, anyone else with a question? Okay. Muhammad Akmal, 2 to 3 hours a day can make it possible to pass a single paper. Muhammad Akmal, you're going for single paper in December? Okay, if you're going for single paper, that's fine. Three hours a day is fine. If you could just increase that to 4 to 5 hours on the weekends. Okay, Imran asking another question. How much is AAA and SPR contributing in the SBL course? Is there any benefit of these two papers if someone has cleared specifically? No, 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 not at all. Because basically, SPL is the first of the strategic essential paper, Imran. So if any contribution is coming to SPL, it's coming from the F4 to F9 paper. So SPL has no contribution from the AAA and SPR. So AAA and SPR will not help you with the SPL. Okay, Aswin is asking a question. Should I finish your classes, then move on to the exam drilling, or finish all the classes of yours and Lukman and then do the drilling? Aswin, I will prefer that you first finish my classes A, B, C, D, and F, then do my exam drilling. Now complete my section, then open Lukman, EGH, finish Lukman, exam drilling, ends the story. Now go to the webinar to success. I hope you're clear with that, Eswin. Okay. Perth is asking a question. Whether it is necessary to complete the assignments or can it directly start with practice sessions? Yes, you can directly start with practice sessions, but try to ensure, Perth, that you're sending me answers you're writing for review. Okay. Seant is asking a question. What should be our approach to practice? Usually, for other exams, I complete one session and do the related practice session. I think that's perfectly fine, Seant. You can carry on with the same approach. Uh, Either you complete the course first and then do full papers one by one, or you can partially do questions from past papers relevant to a topic. Both are fine. I hope I answered your question well. Sayant, and I'm taking your name rightly. Okay, any further questions from anyone? Yes, Raza, I will prefer that you finish exam drillings and webinars till 5th of November. But if you just finish off your course by 5th November and you can do the webinars from 5th to 10th, that's even fine. I hope you're clear with that, Raza. Okay, another student is asking a question. Just let me hold that question. How many hours of reading needed to pass if I'm starting now? How many hours you should put a day? That's what your question is. I think 3 to 4 hours with a single paper SPL. If that's the only paper you're giving in December, then 3 to 4 hours a day is quite fine from now onwards. Okay. Another question from Imran. Sir, in the requirement, is there any hint to apply related models and theories? Yes, there is. Once you see my exam drilling sessions and the more recent one coming shortly, so you will know there are hints. And once you do the Dr. Dinu series, you will get to know the hints as well from the Dr. Dinu series as well. Sometimes they're very explicit, sometimes there is a hint. But Imran, model isn't the best answer. Even if you can't apply the model, but you answer the question, you will still get marks. So don't forcefully apply the model. Don't just waste time in picking up the model because you can do the answer without a model. Just link the requirement with a case study and answer the question. So model isn't the best answer. Please remember that. Okay, I hope you're all clear and sound with the orientation today. Uh, so do we have to remember everything in order to apply different models? No, 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 not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Okay, I hope the orientation was effective for all of you, and it must have mitigated your questions and concerns around December 24 exam preparation in March 25. Please do remember, I will be uploading by next week a video on professional skill marks which will be exclusive to my registered students. And I will start solving the recent papers, September 23 onwards, complete papers, and I will be uploading them on on the LMS. And again, that is exclusive videos available to my paid students enrolled in SBL course. September 23, December 23, and March, June 24. I'll be doing all these three recent papers. So to give you an idea about time management, how to read, how to write, and you will learn a lot from them. Okay, thank you so much, all of you, for participating in this live orientation. The recording will be uploaded in the next 1 day maximum with the resources, the tutor presentation, so you can benefit from it and you can download the resources. Thank you so much, all of you. I wish you all the best of luck and success in your upcoming SBL exam. Your tutor, Kashif Kamran, signing off from this orientation. Take care, goodbye, and Allah Hafiz.